in my own therapy sessions, I kind of work on like trusting other people and expecting better, because I feel like that's one thing that I didn't really allow in the beginning. Is I was like, oh, men are just terrible and this is probably not going to work, and like just all, the negativity.
Yeah.
And so
It's the uphill battle.
But now after therapy, in therapy, I've kind of learned to voice that and be like, hey, these are my needs, and like, this is what I'm thinking right now.
Right.
Can I talk to you about it without any like judgment or you thinking like this is personal, because it's not. It's just like something I'm working through. And he's vulnerable with me, and he's like, well, this is what I think, and this is what I'm going through, and these are the things in my life and how I'm feeling. And so it's been really good. I think it's been really beneficial for our relationship. It's been much healthier this time around.
Yeah.
So I love that.
No,
I love it.
I want to speak.
What's up, everybody? I'm Lex.
I'm Jerem.
And this is another episode of Ode to Black Love podcast. Before we get started today, make sure you are liking, following, and subscribing to us on all social media platforms. That's at Ode to Black Love on Instagram and TikTok, then Ode to Black Love podcast on Facebook and YouTube.
Make sure y'all head over to that website, odetoblacklove.com. We got merch up for sale. We got some episodes on there. We got some episodes on there.
You gave up, baby?
Yeah, I gave up.
I'm going to get them up, y'all.
Yeah.
I promise I'm going to update the website with all of our episodes.
But before the end of 2022.
Soon, yes.
Yeah, if you watch on YouTube, we're gonna do a little something different. Or even if you listening, hit us in a DM. Just give us some date night ideas. Tell us your favorite date night. So just hit us down there in the comments.
You
and just
taking
let
me
us know.
somewhere?
Maybe if they give me something good.
Give them something good.
Yeah, we run out of ideas.
Make them spend some money.
Yeah, no. Your favorite cheap idea.
Okay, all right. Is there any other housekeeping? Yes.
Oh yeah. We're gonna talk about August.
Yeah, let's talk about
Okay.
August.
What is it? August 12th or 13th?
13th.
All right, Saturday, August 13th. We're gonna have our annual Ultra Black Love Party. It should be at Kindred Spirits. So pull up on us. It's our annual party. It's gonna be a night. I think it'll probably start about 7. We'll iron that out over the next couple weeks. But
just be paying attention to our social media pages so we can, so you can be up to date with the information. But it's gonna be lit, just like last year.
If you want to see the vibes, go check the page from last year. It was pretty lit. So
Yeah,
it should be even bigger this year. So.
All right. Is there anything else?
No,
I don't think so. Well, we are back, and I'm super excited. I feel like it's been a minute since we recorded.
Together, yeah. Since we recorded together, we've been separate. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because May was Mother's Day, and I did all of that stuff.
Yeah, the Williams came out. We recorded that before we recorded. Some of the ones that came out before that. So yeah, it's been a month and a half, 2 months since we recorded together.
Yeah. So I'm super excited, and we have a beautiful couple here with us today. Y'all go ahead and introduce yourselves.
I'm Avery.
I'm Savanna.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like, it's always weird to introduce yourself because it's like, what do you want to know?
What's your relationship status?
How about that? Yeah.
Yeah.
We're together.
Together?
Period.
Yeah. All right, I love that.
That's it, huh? We're together.
That.
How long? We'll get into that.
Yeah,
Go
we'll
ahead.
get into that. I like the
Ask your spicy question.
So, I mean, y'all together. So, who hollered at who? Like, how'd y'all get together?
Tell the truth. Oh, that's it. Tell the truth.
So, all right, that's an interesting question because, like, one day she actually just, like, pulled up in the shop. So, yeah, like, she came in the shop, and it wasn't, like, I wasn't looking for nothing like that.
Like a car shop?
No, so, I used to, like, help out at a Lure Chanel. So, like, it was one day we were selling shirts. It was it was, like, one of the first shirts that we dropped. It had Martin Luther King on it.
Okay,
it was, like, the redefinition
Yeah,
of
I remember that one. Yeah, that one was hot.
I was very inspired by that shirt design. I was like, oh, I don't know who drew this. I don't know what the concept, like, but it was very radical, and I was like, I like that. So I pulled up,
And so, like, I guess one of her friends that introduced us was like, yeah, this is my homegirl. And I was like, all right, cool. You know what I'm saying? And she handed me a business card. And I was like, all right, like,
that's different.
You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever.
I was doing freelance. So,
okay.
So what were you doing?
I was doing marketing, and like I was trying to get into video at the time.
Gotcha.
So I was like, yeah, I'll pull up, get a T-shirt or whatever. My friend Kaya was there, friend at the time. She knew the spot, so I was like, cool. It sounds like a good event. It was kind of dark in there at first.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, this the first one too.
Yeah.
They moved since then. So it was. When she said it's dark in there, I'm like, oh yeah, it was dark in there.
It was a straight
So
spot,
what did y'all
Yeah.
think when y'all first met?
All right, so to continue on, actually, so like I'm terrible at social media, but like I'm all right with just posting random stuff. So that's how I've like always got work through stuff, like through social media. So like one day I was like, all right, if I'm gonna make more money, I gotta take this shit a little bit more seriously.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
You good?
Yeah,
Cool.
you're good.
Yeah, so I gotta take it a little bit more seriously. And so what happened for me was like I hit her up and I was like, hey, can you help me out? Like I got a whole bunch of ideas, like, but I don't know what to do to make any of them pop. So like, you got some time? What's up? Like, let's go get coffee or whatever. And
We
so,
strictly business, or you got?
was
No, it was strictly
Okay,
business.
okay.
So you
Okay.
didn't, you
Like-
weren't like, oh, this girl is fine as hell. Like, what were you? What?
You
No.
was just like on some business.
I was on some
All right,
money,
cool,
it's
cool.
like money first, you know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
okay.
Don't, he
Money
said it was
first.
strictly business.
Yeah, it was
he said
strictly
it
I'm
was
just
money
trying
first.
to-
When
Yeah.
we were at the event, he came up to me all smooth, like, "Oh, hi, what's
I
your
was off the
name?"
Henny, bro.
But when I first saw him, I was like, he's probably younger than me. Like, he looked like very innocent because, you know, he just has a very young face. And I
Yeah.
was like, hi, how are you? Like, here's my business card. You know, let's get
Dang.
together, I guess. So when he hit me up, I was like, oh, business.
Yeah.
Yes, because I'm very professional. So
Yeah.
when I'm working with men, I try to be very, like, set those boundaries. Like, yes, this is just business. So I was very clear with that. Like, we can get coffee or whatever, but I'll pay. Like, it's not a date.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
how was coffee?
It was cool because like we went to, it was like all about chai, and so we met up
It's cute.
and like we sat off like by a little corner or whatever, and I had like maybe like 3 or 4 years worth of just like random paperwork and ideas, and I pulled it off. And she
Really?
like,
It
She
was-
shaking her head.
as
It's
soon as I-
unorganized.
right, yeah. As soon as I pulled it, she was like, "What the fuck is this?" Like, and I knew
Not
I was
3 to
like,
4
"All right, just bear
years?
with me." 3 to 4 years.
Wow.
It's like a lot of things that I'm just now like getting into. I've already like had started.
It's been-
Yeah, I love
You know what I'm saying?
that. I
It's
love
just like
that.
it's a slow progression because it's like, well, one person, or if you
Right.
go with a couple people, it's like, cool, help me out. Stuff happens. You know?
Yeah.
Right.
So like that's how it really boom after that. And then what? The next time we met, did you invite me out or did I invite you out?
I
Or what?
invited him to
Oh.
coffee the second time because
Okay.
he was texting.
Yeah, he said, you hear that?
But you know what? He was texting me. He was like, do you text people outside of business?" And I was like, I guess so. Like, you know, it's fine. So I was like, we could get coffee because, you know, that's a good first date, you know, if you're pursuing me. So I was like, yeah, we could get coffee. So we
So how
met
long
up.
after y'all first like coffee did you hit her with the? Do you text people outside of?
Oh, bro. Okay, so like the next day, and I knew I had like kind of overstepped that boundary when it was like I looked and I was on Instagram and I had like seen her post a photo and I was like, sheesh. And, like, this is kinda- you know what I'm saying? And I was just like, might as well.
You
bro.
already
might
stepped
as well,
over that
you know what I'm saying?
boundary.
I was like, here
Like-
we go, bro.
take that full mile instead of the inch.
It's fine.
And then like the next time she invited me out, we went to go get coffee, and I think we had went out later that same day, and she kissed me. That's when I was like, ooh.
Look,
Okay.
Hey,
Was
you
you off
trying-
that
don't
Henny?
you have to defend
Was you
yourself,
off that
girl?
there was
too?
no Henny. I kissed him on the cheek.
Okay,
okay.
kiss
Classy.
and kiss.
Because
Keep
I
it
was like,
classy.
yeah, because
Yeah.
he invited me out.
Mhm.
I was like, you seem like a sweet guy. He was, you know, we connected.
So
She keep
did
trying
you
to put him
find
in
out
his
if he
place.
was younger than you?
I did. I thought he was younger than me,
Uh-huh.
but then it turns out he was actually older than me.
Got you. Okay, okay.
Significantly. Not too crazy. Like,
All right,
His
like,
face turned.
Dang.
like 4 years, you know.
Okay,
so-
okay.
Not crazy. Yeah.
Nothing too wild. You know,
Right.
if it would have been like somewhere it was like 6, 7, I'm like, nah, I can't eat. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You
Yeah.
cute, but I gotta go. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
we could.
yeah.
So what ended up happening after you kissed him on the cheek? Like, did y'all just start dating after that, or was it still some time before y'all?
It was maybe like 1 or 2 weeks.
Okay.
And like the funny thing is, like the first time I was like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Would you be my girlfriend?
No,
Would
it
you
was
like to go
it was
out with
way
me?
more romantic than
Oh,
that.
it was more romantic?
It was
Okay.
way more romantic
Cool,
than
cool,
but the
cool.
first time she was like, no.
So what'd you do? The first time you did something more romantic, or you?
It was.
you did-
He took me to we went on a few dates and like we hung out, and then this time he took me to Turner Falls and we were like by a waterfall and he
Yeah.
was like, you know, I'm really serious about you and I know what I want, so like let's do it. And I was like, I didn't say no, but I was like, you know, it's only been like 2-3 weeks, and I was like, so I want to get to know you more, but I was like, I'm interested. So he took me to another, like a week or 2 later, he took me to meet his mom, which
God,
it was
said,
a
"I
big
know
deal
what I
for
want."
me. Yeah.
You said it wasn't, or it was?
It was a big deal. He
Okay.
was like, it's fine, my mom's cool, which she's cool.
Yeah.
But
said, "Ain't
I was
lying."
like, okay, your family's very
For what?
solid. I was like, you know, we could do it. We could date because I don't know, I felt more secure knowing that
Yeah.
he had a good like background and stuff like
Foundation.
that.
Yeah.
So what were you thinking, Avery, when you were like, okay, I'm really feeling this girl? I know she mentioned that you were like, I know what I want. Like, you just knew off the bat when you seen her? Or not when you seen her, but...
I think it was more so just like the personality, because like the second time we had met for coffee, like we had a whole bunch of conversations about a whole bunch of different things.
Okay.
And for me, it's like if you could sit there and talk with somebody, you can at least sit there and like have a conversation and work through things. Even if you're mad or like sad or whatever.
Yeah.
Like if you could talk about stuff, you could talk about stuff.
Right.
So that was like super important for me. But also like this was 2 years ago?
Yeah.
So like at that point, like I was thinking about where it's like I'm really not trying to be out here dating. I'm really not trying to be doing all that all the time. Like
Right.
not to say that it's like a lot, but it's a lot. Like it's like, oh yeah, we gotta go do like no, I'm just trying to be somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, no, I'm just trying to find
hard
one
out there
person
in the
to stick
streets.
with. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's cold, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like no
I heard.
blanket. So
So did y'all keep working together? Like, did y'all end up really actually working together?
Oh yeah, after that we made money together. Like
Oh, bad.
yeah, it's
we
cool.
still work together now.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're on a project together. So.
Oh, okay. So she finally said yes. Well, I'm gonna rewind.
Yeah.
When she told you no, how was you feeling?
yeah.
Because like,
Of course I was like, you
was
know
the
what?
ego hit.
You left her at Turner
Actually-
Falls?
Huh?
I said, did you leave her at Turner
Nah.
Falls?
No, I ain't that cold. No, I ain't that cold. Actually, at first I was like, okay, bet. Like, and then for me, like, that's not that crazy because, like,
Yeah.
she's not the first girlfriend that has told me no the first time.
Yeah,
And it's not like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, no, I'm gonna get you. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, bet.
All right, cool.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
No
Are
pressure.
you sure about that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, think about it. So, you know what I'm saying? She thought about it. She was like, all right, hold up. Like, let's think about
I
it.
mean, meet, your people.
Yeah. So for me, it was like, all right, you say no now. I appreciate that. Thank you for being honest with me. But you gonna say yeah for sure.
Oh
'cause-
my gosh.
Yeah.
It's the
Why not?
Say that's
confidence.
me.
Why not? You know what I'm saying? It's me, baby. It's Corky, baby. You know.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
God.
Yeah.
So how has it been working together? Like, y'all still work together to this day?
Yeah, for the most part.
We work on projects. It's been good. We're very professional. Like we do a good job of separating the two. Like
Oh.
even if like there was a point in time where we had like separated for a little
Okay.
bit, but we were still working on a project together. So we still maintain that like professionalism. Like I would hit him up and be like, I need this by this time, or he'd be
So when
like,
y'all
I
say
need
project,
this.
like what kind of
Like
project?
web design, development, some video stuff, photography stuff, just like
Got you.
creative stuff.
Oh, yeah,
you know what I'm
okay.
saying?
Because I do copy for websites and like marketing and project management. So sometimes I would work with the client with him to do a website, or he's working with a client right now who needs like
Full-scale
content.
writing stuff.
Yeah, so
Oh, okay.
we feed into each other.
Got you. So do
Wow.
y'all both have separate businesses or do y'all have one together?
Separate.
Yeah,
Got you.
I do freelance, but I try to do corporate because it pays consistently.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay, so what does y'all relationship kind of look like? I mean, would you say y'all 2 years in? Is that what you said?
Yeah, like 2
2
and a half,
years in, like
almost
so.
3.
So how does it look like? Are y'all like more of a laid back couple? Y'all go out all the time? Because like working together, me and Alexis, we started working together a little bit on this project.
Yeah.
And it could be. I mean, y'all say
Oh,
y'all
yeah,
good
you
at
gonna butt
separating
heads
it,
for
but you
sure.
know, like, do
Yeah.
y'all still make sure y'all get out and like do dates and stuff like that?
Of course. And I think now more than ever, it's like changed. Because before, like, I will say, like, I have very much been like, I'm gonna get money. Like, either
Yeah.
you gonna be here or you not.
Yeah.
And like, to my own fault, like, I am very straightforward about that. And it's like, I know that it's not easy to hear that kind of shit, especially from somebody like you're with and that cares for you,
Yeah.
loves you like that. Where it's like, get your shit together because we got to get this bread. And
Yeah.
it's like I've had to learn to like not be so on the gas about that kind of shit. But I've also had to learn where it's like, all right, I can be a little bit more compassionate. Where it's like, hey, you don't feel like it, or you going through some things right now. I'm gonna handle that.
Yeah.
So it's been like, especially even when we weren't together, it'd be even more annoying on my part because it's like, what you want? Like, bro,
Like we gotta.
Yeah. So how is it dealing
Check her
with somebody that's just so? What would you call it? I don't want to say just dedicated,
the
but just
gas?
amped. Yeah, on the gas.
For
Like,
me,
yeah.
I think it's like I'm the same way. I feel
Okay.
like we match. Sometimes he's over the top, and I'm like, I need to chill, cause I'm a person who likes to prioritize rest too.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Where like sometimes he's like, nah, fuck that. We gotta make it happen. So I feel like over time I've learned to kind of understand Avery and that part of him and kind of separate like, oh, that's him, this is me. Like he's on that level where he can work for like a whole day until like 1 in the morning, 2 in the morning. But me, I'm different. So it's just kind of like accepting that, and like he said, like he learned also to give me my space and not put so much pressure to be like him.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a give and take, you know.
Is it a conversation that y'all had, or y'all feel like y'all just kind of learned that about each other over time?
It was a lot of conversations, like a lot of.
Yeah.
Like I used to have an office, and like she would come in and work from there from time to time, and it was like, even then he'd be like, all right, well, I'm gonna go, and I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not gonna stay here till 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
You do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be in this motherfucker, just not.
Right.
So, so you know, it took a lot of conversation, and a lot of them, like, it just kind of, I guess I'm slow to learn how other people are in certain situations like that. So it just kind of really was like, all right, I can't be mad at somebody, or I can't hold somebody accountable for something that they have no idea what's going on. Like, setting that expectation and getting rid of that expectation was like the biggest thing. Being like, all right, not everybody looks at it and be like, well, what else am I going to do if I'm not here working? Like, that's not everybody's mindset.
Right.
And it's like my mindset grew to that because of working so long.
Got you. So when y'all ended up separating, like, how did y'all end up getting back together? I know y'all still have the relationship with work, but like...
You had a big dog.
I mean, so it was fairly recent. But I think what got us back together was, well, first of all, I took time to myself because I had to go to, and this might be TMI for the viewers, but, you know, it's good. I went to therapy because I realized, and especially while we weren't together, we both dated other people, and it kind of made me realize, like, these are things that are happening with other people, and like issues came up, and I was like, this is stuff that I need to work on with myself.
Yeah.
And these are the things that were wrong in my relationship. So I took time away from like just the scene period and just focused on myself. And I was like, you know, like, how can I improve myself? Not for the relationship necessarily, but just for like my own personal, you know. And we were always friends. Like, when we break up, we're always cool. We love each other no matter what. So we just had like some conversations. He came down because he moved to Dallas.
Oh, okay. So
he came down to like come and see his family and stuff, and he was like, I'm trying to see you. And I was like, okay, whatever. So we had coffee and we were talking, and he was like, you know, like, you've grown, like, I see that on you. And I was like, thanks, you know, I'm working it out, you know. And I could tell, like, he's grown a lot, too, and how he handles me. Like, a big thing for us was just being softer, because I am, like, I wouldn't say an overly sensitive person, but I'm, like, you know, I'm a woman, and I'm kind of emotional sometimes, and I am sensitive. And so, like, I don't know, being apart kind of made us appreciate each other, I think, and kind of brought us back together. And we're like, let's work on things together. Let's have communication and keep trying.
Yeah. So we actually love therapy. We go to therapy separately.
Yeah. We talk about it all the
time.
time.
We talk about it all the time.
I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, no,
we
absolutely
talk about it all the time.
not.
We both go separate and together.
So we pay 3 different ladies.
Weekly.
Nice.
Weekly. Yeah.
Do we go? Yeah, weekly.
We go weekly, individually. Yeah, every other week.
But anyway, yeah. So have y'all considered going as a couple?
But he has his own therapist.
Okay.
I have my own therapist. So we did have a therapist together, but we didn't see her yet. We're just filling it out, because I feel like finding a good therapist is like dating too.
Yeah.
Ooh,
You gotta throw away the bad ones sometimes.
I've been through it. Yeah.
You had to recycle a few.
Yeah. But I found my lady, and now
I love that.
I would say, like, finding a therapist is actually hard as hell.
Man.
For some reason. Like, it made no sense. Like, I had been on Facebook for, like, 2 weeks and was like, hey, anybody know a black male therapist? I'm trying to get some help. Yeah, and it was every time, be like, yeah, bro, but I only help kids. Help me.
That's for real.
Oh, man. Yeah, I need some help.
No, for real. It's not that many out there.
So how... Oh, go ahead, baby.
You know, when y'all plan to go together, I was just saying, like, what do y'all look for? What is, like, your preference? Like, your therapist style? You said y'all found it individually, but y'all looking for one that fits y'all together. Like,
I'm gonna be completely honest. Like, really, I'm gonna just say it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm that type of person who's like, it's easier for me to just be like 100% honest in most of those conversations. So that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would appreciate somebody that's like, hey, man, you might need to work on that.
Yeah.
But you know, tell me, because that way, like, I'd rather know the hard truth. That way I can make those changes versus, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Beating around the bush.
Yeah. I don't want to be coddled. That's
Do y'all want somebody black?
Yeah.
I would appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? That way they can like understand my struggles.
We definitely do. It's that's like first check.
Yeah,
it's like
that's
first
to be
check,
black.
boom,
Yeah,
and we'll
yeah.
move on from there. But
Right.
Yeah.
Like,
So how has it been now that y'all both are in therapy, like navigating the relationship? I know with Jeremy and I, us going to individual therapy was great for us individually, but then we started to like, I don't know, what would you say we started to do? Like,
you talking about when we start going individually?
yeah, like I just feel like
I thought we started to kind of grow. We didn't start growing apart, but we started growing on our own journeys, like at
Yeah.
a different pace. Like she started before me, and then I started, and it's like she had a quick surge, and I had a quick surge, and he was like, "Well, we growing, we becoming different people,
Right.
so we gotta go figure out who we is together." And that's why we went to
Yeah.
couple
that's
therapy
cool.
because like we both started, like you said, you mentioned with her, you was like, you changed. It's not a bad thing, but it's like you not even the same person that I was
Yeah.
hollering at back then. So it's
Yeah.
like. But we were married at the time, so it's just like, I mean, you different, but
Right.
I'm still with you. I'm still
love
stuck with you.
that.
So let's
Right.
figure it out
Yeah.
together.
Right,
For sure.
right. So how would y'all say it's been for y'all as y'all navigate y'all's own therapy journey?
I know Avery's just starting his. You wanna
How has
talk
it
about
been?
it?
Yeah.
You don't
It's
have to.
it's interesting, like only because I'm finding out more that the more I talk about things, the more it makes sense.
Mm.
No,
And she had even mentioned once where it's like the more vulnerable you are with me, the more I can be like comfortable and confident in what's going on in your world, in your head.
Mm.
And so for me, it was like, all right, well, fine. Like,
gotta take
Well,
that.
yeah,
Gotta
yeah.
take that security
let me
blanket
open
off.
up the
Yeah.
vault, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Dig in there and pull out everything you want to know. Like, what do you
Yeah.
want to know? And
Yeah.
so it's-
Yeah.
Let's be open. Yeah, I like that.
Now, do y'all feel like that has changed? Elevated your relationship? Do you feel like y'all got closer to that?
I think so. In my own therapy sessions, I kind of work on like trusting other people and expecting better because I feel like that's one thing that I didn't really allow in the beginning. Is I was like, oh, men are just terrible, and this is probably not gonna work, and like just all the negativity.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
so
it's an uphill battle.
but now after therapy, in therapy, I've kind of learned to voice that and be
Mhm.
like, hey, these are my needs, and like, this is what I'm thinking right now.
Right.
Can I talk to you about it without any like judgment or you thinking like this is personal because it's not. It's just like something I'm working through. And he's vulnerable with me, and he's like, well, this is what I think, and this is what I'm going through, and these are the things in my life and how I'm feeling. And so it's been really good. I think it's been really beneficial for our relationship. It's been much healthier this time around.
Yeah.
So I love that.
No,
I love it.
I want to speak to that point where you mentioned just like not feeling comfortable to opening up to. Like we got married before I felt comfortable opening up. We were like over a year in, I would say, and it's like that's just a real thing. And I feel like I'm glad you said it because a lot of men have a hard time like truly like voicing that and saying it. Like it's hard to open up. It's like men are vulnerable too, and we both also like. I mean, we got a lot of stuff we got to figure out ourselves, one. But two, it's, like, scary sharing that with somebody else because, like, you just supposed to be, like, this macho dude.
You want me to tell you all of my secrets?
Yeah, all my secrets. You know what I'm saying? Like, we so used to walking around
Absolutely.
with this facade or whatever you want to call it, being put together or whatever you want to say. And just to tell somebody, like, all your, like, those parts where somebody can, like, stick you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I'm opening up. You could hurt me. That's definitely a thing I feel like for men that we don't really talk about a lot.
I think it's really beautiful that you can open up to somebody and be vulnerable and know like she's still here for you. She still loves you regardless of the things you tell her. Because I feel the same about Avery. I'm like, you could tell me the worst stuff while you were single, in your past. Like, I just want to be connected with you. Like,
What?
I'm
But,
like, yum,
you know.
damn. No, but for real though.
Yeah.
but I still,
Yeah, right.
I still love Avery, and we're still rocking. So I'm like, it's fine.
So how was it when you all went long distance, or y'all were broken up and then you moved to Dallas?
Yeah, like immediately after.
Okay,
Yeah,
are
like
you still in
immediately.
Dallas right now?
Yes.
He's
Okay.
back and forth.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So how is it navigating that? Is it different from when he was here? Like, were y'all together more?
I think. Did you want to answer?
No, you go.
Okay.
I got you.
We were together way too much before we broke up. So the distance is good because it gives us time to
little
like.
space.
He can have his own place in Dallas and be like have his own little life, but
Yeah.
for the most part, he's still here pretty often. So it's not like a crazy transition.
Yeah.
No, like one of the things I had like off top once we got together, I pretty much told like at a certain point like I love you, and that's never going to change. Like
Mm.
distance isn't going to change that. Time isn't going to change that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something that I've always kind of leaned into, because it makes no sense for me to tell you I love you and then to take that back just because something happened. Like, that's not
Yeah.
love. That's conditional.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're loving somebody unconditionally, time, space doesn't really, it shouldn't
Right.
affect that at all. So especially when it was like, all right, well, I'm in Dallas. Like, I'd come back, you know what I'm saying? She was like, well, you know, you trying to hit the gym? What's up? You trying to hang out? Let's go get coffee. And so, like, once that became a little bit more regular, then it was just like, all right, it's not like much changed. Your distance made it made no difference to me. So.
What made you go to Dallas?
Opportunities. Really just like business, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Not to say bigger city, but bigger
It's a
city.
bigger city.
You know what I'm
Yeah, it's a
saying?
bigger city.
And
More
it moves at a
opportunities,
different pace. And before moving back to Oklahoma before COVID, like, I was in Orlando. So it's
Oh, okay. I
wow.
didn't know that.
Yeah. So it's just kind of like, you know, I didn't expect to be in Oklahoma for COVID.
Yeah.
It just happened.
So now I kind of want to pivot into, and did you have something you was going to ask? Okay. I want to pivot into, like, kind of who y'all were before y'all got together. So it's interesting because we don't really know either of y'all that well, but you mentioned, like, you were in Orlando before. Like, what was your life like before y'all got together?
It's crazy, man. Like, honestly, I was, if I could put it politely, it felt like I had poured gasoline on myself, set myself on fire, and was just walking around.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Just like wilding out, bro.
Yeah.
Like, wilding out.
Yeah.
And it actually, just to kind of like give like a encapsulation of that. So, like, just before I ended up moving back, my mom had called me, and she works in films. And so she does accounting. And so she called me, and I knew it was finna be a bad phone call because she started off with, "Don't trip." Like, how you
About
do
the
that?
trip,
Right, don't trip.
It triggered me already.
Boom. And so she told me that she had got robbed at gunpoint, got pistol whipped. So, like, at that point, I was a whole different,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Wow.
that puts you in a whole different mental space.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's what I was coming back from. And then getting here, COVID, like, I was so used to, I had just came out of electronic arts. So, like, career focused, working, really good job, chill. Come to Oklahoma where it's like you don't have an EA, you don't have, nobody
There's
makes
no big
75.
company,
Like, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's doing that. Like, and then every opportunity that I get into is like, oh, well, we're trying to hire, but COVID. And I'm like, all right, bet.
Right.
So it's like, you got to go back in the hustle. You got to grind. I'm still very deeply upset and mad about something I have no control over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Trying to work on top of that, being a workaholic.
Yeah. A workaholic. Emphasis.
Workaholic, for real. You know what I'm saying? And like, I'm in my grandma's spot. You know what I'm saying? Like, it felt like it was down bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, down bad. And it's just like everybody's hurting through COVID. And that was one thing my mom was always like, I'm like, yeah, I get that, but why? Why me? What I do? You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's where I was at. And it's like, I'm not in survival mode anymore. But, like, there's still parts of me where I'll look in the mirror and be like, nigga, you was close to tripping.
Yeah. No, 100%.
So, so it's like, I don't know, man. I love that guy. You know what I'm saying? He did what he had to do, but like, you gotta chill.
Yeah.
You gotta
like,
chill.
I'm not your
person.
strongest soldier.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, who said that?
Yeah.
You know?
What about you?
Well, I was still in college, and
Okay.
I was living with a roommate. We were best friends at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And it was COVID for sure. So everything was online. I was still doing freelance.
Okay.
We was still, I was working with a marketing manager, I suppose. He
Okay.
had like a few businesses. So I was like, this is my career. I'm taking off. So I made business cards or whatever. But I was really just focused on that, focused on trying to figure out school and like whatever else was next for me. I was dating, but I was like not really interested. The dating scene in Oklahoma is really small and it's not the best, you know, to put it in the best way.
Right. Are y'all both from here?
I wasn't born here, but I like went to high school and middle school here.
Gotcha.
And then, you know what I'm saying? In and out.
Same. I'm from Texas, but I've been here for like 12 years, so basically.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I've been here for a minute.
Yeah.
So are y'all's families here too?
Most of my family is,
Okay.
for sure.
Yeah. Mine's in Florida. So, ironically.
I was going to say, whoa, wait.
Yeah.
Same part of Florida that he was in?
Jacksonville, so near Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not moving back, though. It's a no from me.
So do y'all have any intentions on being in the same city again? Like full time?
Yeah,
Yeah,
actually.
in the future.
Yeah,
In the
Very
future?
for
soon.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
said soon. I was gonna say, how was that? I wanted to go back to you moving. Like, was having your own independence, was that like a thing? I know a lot of people, we didn't really do it, but a lot of people like find that period of time where you're like, I just need to be by myself. And like, is that a thing?
Actually, one of the biggest things I was like, before we move in together, I want you to have your own spot, so you can like know what that means and like really have your own thing, your own space, your own. You know what I'm saying? Because like that's a part of like growing up and being
Absolutely.
yourself, and
Yeah.
you need that. It's a thing of independence. So
I've had my apartment for 2 years now.
Okay.
So I've been
Okay.
by myself. I buy myself flowers, take myself
Ooh,
out.
Aw.
A little
Okay.
self-care, whatever.
Yeah.
Nah.
Financial self-care,
So, what was I about to say? I had a question, then I looked at you.
I got you. Who the one who want to move in together the most?
Oh my gosh, that's not where I was gonna go.
I am. I was
Once we
curious.
got
It's always
back-
a conversation.
Once we got back together, he was like, I want you to move in with me. So I was like, oh, for real? I did not take him serious. I was like,
My boy don't play.
you sure?
He said, I know what I
I
want.
know what I
He
want.
knows
I know what I
he wants.
want.
First rule. And I was like, I didn't want to question it and like, oh no, but I was like, I just want to make sure because the moving in wasn't just moving in apartments. It's like, it was kind of a big deal because we'll be moving like out of state.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, we can do it. I was like, just make sure you're ready. And he was like, yeah, that's
for
what I
like
want.
2 weeks straight, she was like, "Are you sure? You sure?"
So it
You
really
mean
is
it?
soon. They done had the conversation.
I was about to
for
say,
real,
so
for
you'll
real.
you'll be going to Dallas?
No.
Oh.
We're gonna, yeah. We're
So
really-
y'all
We
really
can
going
cut
for
that
it.
if y'all want us to. It sounds like it's still a little bit of a secret. Yeah, we'll cut
Yeah,
it.
we'll cut it. We'll cut
Yeah,
it.
but that's exciting.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh my gosh. What brought that about?
So I got one of my homies had moved out there, and he was like, "Yeah, man, we finna figure it out." And I was like, "All right, bet." You know what I'm saying? If something changed, let me know.
Uh-huh.
This man calls me maybe like 2-3 weeks ago, and he's like, "Hey, bro, you want to move out here?" And like the funny thing is, like, for COVID, me and my mom and my cousin, we all got an apartment because we all were coming from different places. So we got that apartment. And like this year, at the end of this year, she wants to go ahead. My mom wants to get an RV and just drive around.
That sounds cool, bro.
I'm about to say
She's
she
so
sound
cool.
cool.
She wilding right now. You know what I'm saying? Like she
that sounds like a
wilding.
good time.
So it's beautiful. So I'm like, we're going to look at RVs, and she's like, well, if I get this RV, you got to do the inside of it and help me do all the little maintenance. And I'm like, all right, cool. Just pick one. We'll go from there. So now that she's like, well, I'm gonna go. My little brother, he's in the military now. He's getting ready to ship out overseas for deployment.
Okay.
So I'm like, my heart is gone.
Everybody's
you know what I'm saying?
gone.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Now it's less stress. So I'm like, all right, well, as long as you straight, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I told him, and I was just like, what do you need from me, bro? And he was like, fill out this paperwork, and then this is what the rent gonna be. I was like, all right, cool. And so yeah, and the funny thing,
whatever,
Wow.
just quick. Like,
man, and just before that, I had just moved to Dallas, so it was
Yeah.
like, what,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I love it. It's super fast paced, but I'm realizing like one of the things that I've had to grow through is like everything that I thought was gonna be what it is, like it's not
It
how it's
don't
gonna
have to
work.
be, yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like one thing for me is like I've always been nomadic. So in that understanding where it's like I don't have to, I don't have to buy a house.
Yeah.
I don't have to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And
that
it's
don't
like,
gotta be a goal of yours.
exactly. But
Just 'cause-
I
yeah.
want one,
Yeah.
but like I don't have to do it now.
Yeah.
Right,
Especially when it's like
period.
in this market, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's
Why would I
crazy
do
right
it?
now.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Might as well
yeah.
wait
You
a
know?
little bit.
Just,
And so, it was like I don't plan on buying a house for a couple years from now. And it's like even then, I still got more of the world I want to go see. I want to travel. I want to
Absolutely.
go do some stuff. So,
So was it easy for you to make the decision?
Yeah, well, I was like, I do have my apartment and stuff, so I was like, let me get my life together. But I want to say I did get a job out there. It's like my dream job.
Really?
So
That's
yes.
awesome. Congratulations.
It just took 5 interviews.
Wow.
But
Not
that's
Hey,
five.
you had to
Girl,
fight for that.
5.
You had to fight tooth and
I was fighting for
nail.
my life.
I
Yeah.
love that
Look,
though.
That's
Yeah,
great.
so I was like, it's all coming together. So I was like, let's do it.
So,
Absolutely.
are you nomadic too? He mentioned that. That's kind of I can't get with that. I'll be honest.
No,
So
I
like to
understand.
like set roots. So, are you also kind of like?
I want to be though.
I'm like,
No, she don't. She does.
I like the idea of it. How
She
about
likes the
that?
idea.
I love
She-
the idea of
She
it.
likes schedule.
It is. It always is. It feels nice to be free.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, like 4 years ago, I was in like this really long-term relation, like high school sweethearts, whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we had like everything, and at that point, when I left him, I was just like, you can keep everything. I'm out of here. And so kind of like until I got my apartment, I also had a roommate, so I didn't have like too much stuff because I was in college and stuff. The struggle.
Right.
But I was kind of nomadic. And now that I have my own apartment, it's like I do have roots, but because I've lived my entire life kind of moving with my mom too from city to city, I'm very accustomed to just kind of picking up and going on. Yeah, because I think there's some freedom in that. It's like,
absolutely, what's
the next adventure? Where else can I move and grow, you know?
So how do y'all feel when it comes to like that change and growth? So like for me, and I bring this up because I actually had therapy today, and we were talking about like my stress response and what I do when I'm like uncomfortable, and it's actually like to like flee. Like flight is my number one. Like I'll just remove myself from uncomfortable situations. But now that y'all talk about like upping and leaving, it sounds like that is natural for y'all, but do y'all have any feelings of like anxiety or stress as it pertains to that, or is it just like, do you just really feel free?
Oh, I'm scared as hell. Like every day, like, and there's no, you know what I'm saying? There's you can't be prepared for that. You can't, like you said, like roots for me now is like family. You know what I'm saying? As long as I know that I have family that I can talk to and like go see, that's cool enough for me. Because at a certain point, it's like, if I was really interested in buying a house, like really looking for it, and I was like doing everything I could, or not everything I could, but everything I needed to understand, like, if I'm going to play this game, how do you play the game correctly to come out ahead? There's no coming out ahead in that game. And so for me, it was like, what's that invest? 20, 30, 40,000, and I stay there for 10, 15, 20 years to keep this spot, to possibly rent it out, to then go see the world. And I was like, I just don't.
Wouldn't make sense for you.
Right. Yeah. So for me, it's like, I'm scared. Not scared and fearful, but it's like,
it's new.
Exciting. Yeah. Because it's like, you don't know what's finna happen. You don't know how it's finna go.
Yeah.
But every time I realize and look around, like, the more I lean into that, the more everything works out.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah. So it's like, it's just like the Book of Eli. Like, you don't find out he blind until the end. And it's just like, he's just going. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's the mindset that I've had to adapt, where it's like, no matter what door I'm going to walk into, I know I'm going to come out it and go into something else.
You preaching.
Because that's for real, though.
That's real.
That is real, though, because sometimes you just got to get out your own way. And that's what
and that'd be me.
The only person that be preventing you from doing anything be yourself.
You.
That's facts.
That's pretty awesome.
And like one of the homies told me, the biggest thing that you're afraid of is your superpower.
That's
like
true.
That's it.
Come on, man. You ain't have to go in on me. Come on, man. No,
but he over here living in his purpose.
Okay. Oh, it's beautiful.
And that's why I love being with Avery, because he also pushes me to like pursue more, because honestly, being here, I was stagnant. Like, I'm very grateful for my apartment and like my friends and my life here, but I'm also like, I'm the opposite. Like, when I'm afraid, I stay grounded and I stay in the same place. And with Avery, he's like, let's do it. And I'm like, you know what? Yes. Because, like, why stay in the same place forever? Like, I can grow here, and I can also, you know, I could buy a house and, like, have a family.
Right.
But I don't see that in my cards. Like, I want to see different things. I want to do different things. My family never got the opportunity to even go up.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a new experience, and I'm excited to be with him for it, you know?
Yeah.
No, so I don't say nobody can predict the future, but where do y'all kind of see y'all, you know, headed? Like, I'm not saying just marriage, but like in your relationship.
Oh, for sure.
We've talked about it.
Yeah, we
have
at length.
Yeah. For sure. Like, we haven't really said like a state. So in my mind, like, the way I see it, it's just like, all right, bet we'll have a house that's 45 minutes from the closest big city. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
A couple cars, land, and just a family.
Kids.
That's it.
Yeah.
Other than that, businesses,
Travel.
investments, travel.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, no matter where you plant that flag, it's always, you'll make it work. There's no way around that. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like location, up in the air.
Just wherever y'all
So now it's just like exposing her to as many different places as possible. I've kind of traveled. I've been to Portland, Dallas, or Texas, whole bunch of places. DC's tight. So it's like, the more places, you know what I'm saying, I can get her to see and experience, I think the more it'll make sense.
Yeah. Have y'all traveled together before?
Yeah.
Where have y'all been?
So for my birthday, we went on a cruise to the Bahamas and Mexico.
Okay.
Yeah. Yo, it was crazy.
And then Texas.
Yeah, Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We ain't never been on a cruise before. How was that?
It was cute. I liked it.
After COVID, I don't know. They got
was
trapped
shut
on
up.
there.
It's cool.
It
Yeah,
was
it's
during-
cool.
It was like right after COVID. I was
Yeah.
like, yo, we
They
have
got
to
trapped
wear
out to
masks.
sea for
Yeah,
a while.
yeah.
I don't know.
That's
That's kind of
Did
scary.
did either of y'all get sick?
Yeah.
Seasick or
Seasick, yeah, that's what I meant.
actually, I had some of the best sleep I ever had on
Really?
that boat. Yeah, because it's
Really?
like
It was good.
it'll rock.
Yeah.
It'll rock
Right,
ass
you
to
sleep?
boy,
Ah.
straight. Because like we had a port window, so like if
It was
Okay.
right
beautiful.
beside our bed was just a big window you
Mhm.
could look out and you could see the water and
Mhm.
everything. So we look out at it at night. You see the like moon on the ocean.
It was romantic.
Pass out.
Yo.
Straight
Oh,
out.
that sounds
Nah.
beautiful.
Nah.
But also, it's nice that they prepare all of your meals. You don't have to do nothing while you're there. Like, they clean everything for you. And they, like, plan out little things for you to do. So it was nice. It was really relaxing.
No, I don't know. I'm about to take a hard left, so
I love
just,
it.
I don't want to kill the mood, but I've heard y'all both talk about your moms and stuff like that. Like, how did y'all parents' relationship impact kind of how
Oh,
y'all
yeah,
deal
that's
with
a good one.
relationships
That's a
and stuff
good
like
question.
You wanna go first?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Right.
I,
You got it. You got it.
I mean, like, to be honest, my relationship with my mom isn't the best.
Mm.
She was kind of like a halfway out the door type of person. So for me in my relationships, it was always hard to believe that people wanted to be there
Mm.
because she never wanted to be there, you know? My father passed away a long time ago. So, you know, there's no hard feelings there. Like, he was a good man from what I hear.
Mhm.
But yeah, it made my relationships a little weird. Definitely some stuff to process in therapy. Like,
Yeah.
how does this connect to my relationship with Avery? And it kind of connected to, like, some of our breakups too, right? Like, we've been through some stuff, and it's like a lot of it's just because of my unhealed issues with my mom. So it's been a ride, but like, I'm really grateful that I have Avery because he's very understanding and emotionally intelligent, to where he's like, okay, I'll give you the space you need because I understand, like, your situation's kind of like dysfunctional. So it's, you know, it's been a roller coaster, but I think I'm on a better place now. So
that. Cool.
So like I watched my parents go through their divorce, and I was 7, and like I vividly remember my pops being like, "You're the man of the house now," and I was just like, "Tight, whatever that means, bro. I got it."
Yeah.
So like,
Absolutely not.
So you the oldest?
yes,
Okay.
yeah. Well, okay, so technically I'm like the third middle
I got you.
kid. You know
I
what I'm
got you.
saying? Because you know, pops got
Yeah,
the
it's complicated.
Yeah,
but I
you know
got
what I'm saying?
Hey, I got
on some Rolling Stone type shit.
you.
So like finding that out and like going through that process as an adult has been interesting because it's like at 30 or 20, 27, 28, oh yeah, it's your older brother. Word. Okay, bet.
Oh.
Like less, you know what I'm saying? And it's weird to like, not saying weird, it's just very interesting and uncomfortable to try to meet an adult and
Absolutely.
be like
And
build
this
that
is your
kind of
brother.
relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then like I also met like I got a younger sister.
Yeah.
So I met her for her 15th birthday a couple days, well, like what, maybe a year ago.
Mhm.
So it's just kind of been like interesting, and like I don't ever hold none of that against my pops because I mean you're gonna do what you're gonna do. You're a grown
Humans
man.
is humans.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I really look at their relationship and it lets me know like. Not to say that I want to do better or like I can't, but I'm gonna be better. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I want that family that I wanted to have growing up in a family. So it's like,
That's beautiful.
yeah, real, you know what I'm saying? For real. So like that was kind of always the biggest factor for me when dating. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm looking for that. That's what I want. Like that's my end goal every
Yeah.
time. So like if anything, my parents' relationship is showing me how to like not go about it, but also like ways to go about it.
Yeah.
Gotcha. That's a good way to take it because some people, the opposite is like, I don't want to go through what they went through. So
Yes.
some people don't ever even
Don't even want
foray into the
relationships.
opinion
Yeah.
of a relationship. So I was just curious. Like I said, y'all had both mentioned your moms. And I was just like,
Man.
ain't nobody said. So I was just curious.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
Pops is cool. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? He's a great friend. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
he's a
exactly
tight, he's
what
a
I
tight
think
ass
about
friend.
my mom.
You
She's a
know.
good friend.
That's good.
Yeah.
He be trying.
So Avery, when it comes to your mom, do you feel like, or not do you feel like, but is y'all's relationship pretty strong?
Oh, we tight, but like it took some time.
Yeah.
Like I remember once, she probably gonna be mad if I told the story. So like one day, me and my cousin, we had skipped school, and she was like, "Nah, y'all not finna do that. Either you know what I'm saying, you either finna go to school or you gonna work." And she was like, "Y'all better not sell crack out my house. Like whatever you do, like pay these bills or take your ass to school.
Mm-hmm.
So like from then on, like, and I remember it because like she got mad at me and she threw a flip flop at me and I laughed at her because like, and I knew I had like fucked up.
Yeah.
Bro, I look back at her and laugh, bro,
Man,
and like
trying to kill you,
right? And to this day, I was just like, damn, why I do that? But like, ever since that moment, like I realized like, yes, I had to go through, or not I had to, but like I was angry about a lot of things. And that took a lot of time to process and understand like, why am I so angry? You know what I'm saying? Like, who am I really mad at?
Yeah.
What's going on here? And so by going through that, like that made our relationship so much tighter because I realized like she had gotten remarried. She had also got divorced again. And it was like seeing other men put her through things like that made me more like, nah, bro. You either get it together or I'm going to kill you. You got two options. You know what I'm saying? Come correct or don't come at all.
Right.
And so going through that, like, that's my fucking homie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, me and my mom got real close. And then me and my little brother are close. So, like, we've always had a solid relationship. So now it manifests itself in, like, if you see all three of us, you finna laugh. Like, we're just comedic. Like, my little brother's crazy, so he'll say some super outlandish shit. And then my mom is like, I don't know if you want to do that.
Yeah.
And then it's just me being like, for real? Like, y'all crazy. Like, what's going on here? So, you know, it's a great relationship that we've built over time, but it's taken a lot of, like, trust and a lot of seeing each other go through some crazy shit, being there for each other, you know what I'm saying? And just what you need, I got you.
Yeah.
You know? But that's the only way I can think about how to build that.
So that just made me think about something that we've kind of already talked about, which is mental health and therapy. Why do y'all think that stigma exists in the Black community? I know you were like, oh, this may be TMI. And I feel like you're right. Like some people don't like to get into the weeds of therapy and mental health. Why do y'all think that exists? Like I want to hear y'all's perspective on it.
I can go first. For me, like, I think for men particularly is because that's kind of like an insult. It's like, oh, you need to go to therapy, or like, it just seems like you're crazy. Like, you know, like you're a crazy person.
Can you say real niggas don't need therapy?
Real niggas don't need no therapy.
He did say that. And it's like, why would I want to go to therapy if people are going to look at me differently, you know?
Yeah.
And for me personally, I was hesitant on going to therapy because I was like, I kind of already know all this stuff, or like it's a waste of money because therapy is expensive. So I know Avery had a
For me, it's I think it's one of those things where it's like both men and women, like nobody wants to ever consider that you cannot handle your own problems.
That's true.
And when it comes to problems, like we're not talking money problems, we're talking like full on emotional, intellectual, like thinking, cognitive reasoning problems. And it's like if you don't ever take time to sit there by yourself and figure some of your shit out,
right,
you're not finna listen to nobody else.
Yeah.
And especially when it's come to like, most people will see, well, I got family. I can talk to my family. I can tell them about anything. I can talk to my homies.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like,
Right.
at the end of the day,
Yeah.
you're talking to other people who are also unhealed, dealing with their own
yeah.
stuff. And it's like, they finna tell you what they would do.
They attach, all
You know what I'm
protection.
saying? And it's like, at that point, that's a terrible ass situation. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, it seems crazy because, or it seems crazy because to talk to somebody else that you don't know, and you finna pay them money to listen to you talk about things that are going on in your world.
It sounds insane. The
It's
concept
crazy.
sounds insane.
Yeah.
It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that it's crazy. It's just like, it's hard to rationalize that their whole job is to give you skills and tools to cope and to figure out these things. But nobody not nobody, but most people, the Black community doesn't approach it like that.
Right.
Depression is still, that's a spirit. No, come on.
Come on.
Yeah.
Right.
Come
right.
on.
Pray,
Yeah, like,
go to church.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I did the
Meanwhile,
church
your
preaching.
preacher's probably out there like
It's
smashing on
you
half the
never know.
congregation.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. You know
It's
what I'm saying?
happening. It's happening.
You never
Yeah.
know.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I ain't burnt
Ain't
up.
saying
with
they
that
all,
hip,
but
like,
they
you know what I'm
definitely
saying?
out there.
Hey,
Yeah.
it be like that. You know what I'm saying? I done been to a couple churches like that. Even
Yeah.
then, it's just like you don't want to have to sit there with yourself and be like, I got to talk to somebody else to figure out me. What?
Yeah, and I think like you hit the nail on the head with the like providing tools, because I think a lot of people think that you go into therapy and that person just listening to your problems.
Right.
Like that's not the reality. They're not just listening. I mean, they are listening but they're not just listening to listen to
Yeah.
get paid to do that. Like they're literally there to try to figure out what tools they can recommend to you and what type of treatment plans they can give to you when it comes to like just all the things that you're going through. And it's funny because like my therapist brings so much stuff to my attention. Like I was telling her a story. I don't even remember what I was talking about, but I was telling her a story and she was like, she started bringing up stress responses and all these different things. I'm like, oh shit, I didn't even realize I was doing that. So like, it's also bringing awareness to like some of the bad tendencies that we have, but people are so focused on like, oh, they just listen to me talk. Like, no, they're not just listening to you talk. Like literally, especially if they're good. Now, some therapists, now I ain't gonna lie, they have one that she was like, and I feel like we wouldn't get no.
Just stealing money.
Just stealing my little coins. But for the most part, that's not the purpose of a therapist. And I think people really get it confused.
Yeah. And it's different. Like I said, you got different styles. Different people need different things. Because, like, your therapist, the way you explain her, they be like, she think that's her best friend.
I want her to be.
Yeah.
She got boundaries, though.
Our therapist that we see as a couple is very much like that. But when I see on my own, she very, I don't want to say you like her, but very reserved. She just listens.
Very like who?
Like I don't want to say her name. Your first one.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
where she's not quite like that, but she definitely, I need somebody that's more so gonna like sit back and just like, I don't ever really have space to like just start talking. That's not my personality, but she just let me sit back and sometimes I just talk for her.
But she give you tools too?
She does, but I'm saying she give me a chance to talk for like 45 or 50 minutes sometimes. And I'm like, I didn't think I had nothing to come here and talk about. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm glad she like gives me that space because some people don't. Like the lady you went to last time, you felt like she always stepping on your toes. Yeah, always
like, girl, you don't know me like that. Yeah, while you're trying to say you did anyway.
No, but yeah, so it's different ones out there, and it's, like y'all said, it's kind of like dating, finding the one that fits you, and I feel like that's very important because like some people, I was fortunate enough, my first experience with somebody that I roll with, but a lot of people think you get that one and everybody's like that, and it's not the case. And also, it's like understanding like you said, the tools thing, like you don't know everything. These people are professionals. They have these tools. They deal with people. You don't know everything. It's like I was talking to somebody I don't necessarily try to convince people to go, but just giving them the option, like presenting it to them. And they were just like, I mean, like you had mentioned, I already know myself. I already know blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I used to say that same stuff. And I'm like a totally different person now. It's like, you know what you present. You know what you present or who you want to be, you know, but do you really truly know yourself? And I think that's the difference because, like, I always said, like, I know me. But once I start getting in, I was like,
you know how you're going to react.
Yeah, I know how I'm going to react, but you don't know, like.
There's a lot of internal stuff that you have from, like, your past. You don't know how it affects you.
And you may not even realize you holding on to it. Right. Like, my father passed away when I was 15. And, like, that tragedy manifested itself in so many different ways in my life that I was not able to even pinpoint till I got older and got into therapy. Like, oh shit, this is a trigger, or this is my response to this because of this that happened because of this, and then it comes down to
never even be remembering the origin.
And then once I finally peeled back all the layers, it's like, oh, because of this feeling that you had when your dad passed away. One thing my therapist told me the other day, and it cracked me up, and it shouldn't have, but she was like, I laugh, like. Laughing is like one of my trauma responses.
Ooh, I know.
And she was like, and it makes sense. Because I was telling her, like, how as a kid, like, because we all lost our dad. So we would laugh and make jokes. It's not good.
It's uncomfortable. Bro.
It's uncomfortable. It's
uncomfortable
awful.
As hell,
hey, when you have that dark humor to get through things, but you be laughing.
That's
and you get somebody that's not your dad, you just sitting there like, I'm not about to sit here and laugh. Y'all talking about y'all dead daddy.
Because y'all, we were bad.
And they really be going
just
in.
like,
we getting better. But when I talked to my therapist about that, she was really like, she pointed out to me like how like, that was my coping mechanism when I was a kid. But she's like, you're a grown woman now. Like, that's ineffective. Like, you laughing about it now, like, gonna really feel that real emotion because you are old enough to really process and understand it now. As a kid, 15 years old, yes, I get it. You didn't really know how to process it, but now you're in therapy. Now you're evolved. You got a husband, a child. Like, gonna really sit with that feeling opposed to just laughing it off. And I laughed, and I was like, girl, I'm trying. And she was like,
I think you've been better for sure, though.
I've been
ever since you learned about it, I think. Cause I be watching sometimes. That'd be dangerous too when we stopped talking about therapy a lot. Cause like you be knowing too much. Sometimes I feel like you can know too much.
Yeah.
And like we be like, look, you doing what they said you doing.
You don't want to weaponize somebody else's
you
stuff
trying to
against it.
weaponize
Yeah.
their therapy
Like,
against them. So we kind of stopped talking about it because you just subconsciously do it. Like, look. So,
See, she was on.
but I will say though,
Nah.
we talked about that, and I was like, I know that you don't really, you don't do as much joking and laughing. Like you said, y'all have been better. Because I mean, it was all.
It was
time.
awful.
made you a little uncomfortable
Yeah,
sometimes.
her dad had to do
All
like
the time.
dialysis and stuff like that, and they just talk
Going
about how
down on that man.
they just talk about them. I'm
Okay,
like,
we didn't. It was how we got through it, man.
it is,
But
and they just make you feel
progress.
uncomfortable. Like, you
That's
know?
what matters.
Like then when daddy blah blah, I'm like,
Oh my God.
he was sick.
I feel you. She's like,
I'm
that
like, he
man was
was
actually
sick.
in pain in that
But
moment.
He
it
was sick, and
really-
they just really be cracking up. I'm like,
and I'm imagining the story that you're thinking about, and it's still funny because like we're just some fools. Like
Yeah.
it's me, my sister Tian, Chris's wife, and then we got a little brother, and we just was some clowns. Like but even before he got sick, we were just childish and just clowns. So it was just like something that we continue to be. Just
I don't
dark.
judge, but I tell you, as somebody that's sitting
Okay,
there,
listen,
boy, it's
enough about me
uncomfortable.
this day
It's
episode.
No, for real
I
though,
get you.
for real. But no, I really like the way y'all talk and the way y'all relationship is growing. It's very progressive. It's very like refreshing because like we learned after we got married to hear y'all going through this and expressing and learning yourselves before. Not saying y'all have to get married, but before, if that was a thing, before y'all even take that leap, that's like huge. I mean, I always say our journey is our journey. Like, I don't feel like we made any missteps, but it's like, dang, it's so much stuff that we probably could have figured out before we had to bump our heads. And it sounds like y'all are doing that. Like,
Hindsight is
therapy,
20/20 for
yeah,
real.
therapy,
Man.
having your own space, traveling and seeing.
Yeah.
Or y'all have kids like me.
Yeah.
I'll take the blame.
I was about to say,
I'll
I was ready to put
I'll
that
take the blame.
on
Yeah,
him.
I'll take the
He
blame
knocked me
because that was
up.
not a part of the plan.
That's okay.
You know, so
It
it's
was part of
like
his plan.
it
No.
wasn't. It wasn't. I promise you, it wasn't.
But no,
it
I
happened.
100% agree, especially like he said when y'all talk about therapy, because y'all said y'all 2 years into y'all relationship and y'all already saw like, okay, we need to do this, we need to do
Yeah,
that.
aligning.
And shoot, exactly. And what, we figured that out 4 years in?
Well, yeah, I guess.
Oh, no, about 7 years into the actual
Actual
relationship.
relationship, yeah.
6,
but,
7, yeah.
But yeah, on our 3rd or 4th year of marriage, like I'm not gonna say we just now becoming aligned. Like y'all already aligned. Y'all work together. Y'all plans and stuff is together. Like our stuff is kind of just now, where like career and life and stuff like that is starting to overlap with each other. Where it's like we hand in hand on our journey together. You know what I'm saying? And like y'all, like I think y'all, that's underrated to be able to exist in the same space as your partner.
Absolutely.
It's just underrated. So I'm like,
And
that's
some people
pretty
say
dope.
they can't do it though.
Some
Like,
people, yeah, it's not for
they be
everybody.
Like, I
but
gotta keep that separate.
yeah,
Yeah.
not for everybody.
Some
but-
people have 2 bedrooms, you know.
That's
Facts.
crazy.
Some people have
Yeah.
2 houses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
That's
not
crazy.
for me.
Okay.
You coming on the road with me if I gotta.
Oh.
We gotta
If
go.
I gotta
you know
work
what
on the
I'm
road,
saying?
I can't.
Facts.
Yeah.
Me, Noah, and Jeremy.
Yeah, I'm too attached, and that's some other therapy stuff that I walk through that we're not gonna get into. But I'm too attached to my family.
That's
Yeah.
Nah, that's
But,
real shit. You gotta be.
So no, but you got anything, babe?
I'm trying to think. I feel like I did, but we didn't get on therapy, and
Oh,
you know, we just
therapy
lived
always
there.
take us down a
Therapy,
rabbit hole.
yeah.
Somebody bring up therapy. That's our episode today. No,
Right,
because we
jeez.
love it so much. But before we do get out of here, do y'all have any relationship advice? I mentioned that y'all handle stuff very well, but do y'all have anything that you would tell a couple that's been together, about to get together?
Any advice at all?
At all. And it don't necessarily have to become aligned.
No, bro, that's hard. It's not
I would
easy.
say
So,
definitely invest in yourself first.
Mm-hmm.
Invest in getting to know yourself and trusting yourself.
Ooh.
Something that I'm learning later in my relationship too is that if you don't have trust with yourself, then your relationship's not gonna work. And it sucks to
You
miss up
preaching.
on a quality person because you're not ready. You know.
That's real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say like on some real shit, like you gotta own up to like who you are and like every part of it. And it's like you can't. If you're gonna do your dirt, but understand like that shit gonna come back. No matter how you can't hide it. It's gonna manifest itself in one way or another. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody fucks up,
Yeah.
including you. You know what I'm saying? Me, everybody.
Yeah.
And you really gotta lean into it and be more of yourself and understand like be about what you really want and mean that. Stick to it. And it's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be fun. It's gonna be some days where you're gonna be upset with yourself of like, why do I continue to try to be the bigger person? Or even if you go the other route, it's like, no, I'm gonna be petty today. You got it. All right, bet. Be petty today, but realize
it's
shit
gonna
come back.
Yeah,
like ain't no way around that one, man. You gotta eat that. And you gotta still be the same person in the mirror that's still gonna have to give 100%.
Yeah.
Even when you want to give 25 or 10 or 5, you know what I'm saying? You gotta stick to that.
Absolutely. What I love about y'all, just based on this conversation, is like y'all have a level of self-awareness that not a lot of people have.
She mentioned it earlier. She said emotional intelligence, and not everybody has it.
Man, but not just emotional intelligence, but just being self-aware. Like you mentioned self-trust. A lot of people don't talk about self-trust. They talk about the trust with other people, but like you gotta trust yourself first. Like everything starts within. So yeah, I really love the light that y'all shining on self-awareness and just owning up to who you really are. Yeah. Like that's big, and that's a journey I've been on. So I love it.
Appreciate it. Nah, we could sit here and love on y'all all day. But do y'all have any? Y'all mentioned that y'all do have your own businesses and stuff like that. So
plug those businesses.
What y'all got going on? If any way people can support you or figure out what you got going on, check it out what you got going on.
My whole like business life is in shambles in a good way though. Like you know what I'm saying? Like it's moving at paces where
booked
it's like
and busy.
it's crazy. Exactly. So like
it's all over the place.
Funny thing is like so we just copped a 2022 Cadillac. So if you're in Dallas and you need like a chauffeur or something, you know what I'm saying, hit my line. Hey. Like we got you. You know what I'm saying? You can pull up with the homies. Actually, so it'll be a white glove concierge services or something.
Ooh, okay.
You know
we got IG yet?
No, actually, like we just got the truck this morning.
We just got it.
The truck just pulled up.
So stay tuned. Stay tuned.
You know what I'm
saying?
Yeah, Steve's Manufacturing Co. That's my agency. I've been doing that for maybe 12, 13, 14 years now. So I've like put stuff up, taken stuff down, changed it. It used to be like my personal Instagram account, but I went ahead and changed it to the business name now. So yeah, graphic design, websites.
Steve's MF Co. on Instagram.
Steve's Manufacturing Co.
What's your tag though?
SteezemFG.co.
And I'm gonna put it on the screen too.
And what is it?
Sure. It's Steve's Manufacturing Co. It's just kind of like a digital creative agency. So I really look to help small businesses, big businesses, like really find who they are and like how they can reach their audience or just digital experiences completely.
Yeah. Okay. What about you?
Oh, I'm fully corporate now, so
I'm out the game.
Hit me up if you need modeling. I do modeling sometimes.
Okay.
And I'll be in the Oklahoma Black Fashion Week, so
cool.
Stay tuned for that. Yeah.
No, yeah.
That's awesome.
I love it, man.
Awesome. Well, thank y'all so much for being on this episode with us today. Like you said, we could probably fangirl over y'all all day long just because it's not common you have these conversations with people who are in therapy, self-aware, and just on these journeys of discovery.
And it feels genuine.
They feel genuine.
People can talk all day, but I feel like I believe y'all.
Oh, for sure. Thank you.
100%.
I do my best to not lie.
Yeah. But you cut me off now. I'm like, what was I saying?
You was wrapping up. I'm sorry. Well, what she was saying is we can love on them all day, but we appreciate y'all for coming on. Make sure y'all check it out. Follow us on social media. You. If you hear this long, go ahead, subscribe, like the video.
Absolutely.
We are having our event coming up August 13th.
August 13th.
It's gonna be a
situation.
Be
we probably gonna have shirts that come out.
Oh, look, she committed, y'all.
We're gonna have some merch that's coming out. Y'all, it's just gonna be a great time.
It's our big thing. It's our annual thing. It's gonna be the second one, so it's gonna be bigger than the first one.
Gotta do it big.
Yeah,
man,
you can pull up in a 2023 Caddy.
Oh my God.
Period. Plug it.
Mess around.
Okay, don't make me do it. Don't make me do it. But no, thank y'all so much for tuning in today. We truly appreciate y'all's love and support. Again, head over to odetoblackglove.com. All of the videos will be up by the time this airs. I promise you that.
Cap.
No, I promise.
She said all
and
of
if every single last one, though.
She got a lot of work.
This going up Tuesday, huh? Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Baby, do you got anything else?
No, I'm good.
We'll go ahead and let that ride.